How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Cities Skylines, and welcome back to Vanillaville. This is, of course, the unmodded Zero Workshop Assets series. It is exactly as City Skylines will be for you on PC out of the box with every single DLC and not one thing more. That's what we're doing here. I don't know if I need to introduce these videos like that every single time. I feel like I haven't done it in a couple of episodes, but just in case you stumbled across this episode in the middle of the series. Anyway, you get the idea. We're in Vanillaville. We have a bunch of money. We just started building a zoo. We just started expanding the city, but I've got some things I want to do. So I mentioned in the previous episode that we're probably going to be looking at moving our industry again. And by industry, I mean specifically the farming industry and the forestry industry. Now, the forestry, I want to put it down on this peninsula. I want to put it down here next to the water. I think it's going to look great down there. It's going to be nicely tucked away, and that just seems like a good place for that kind of industry. There's more trees down there than there are up here, and so that's a little something that I want to do. Now, obviously, we don't actually have that tile just yet. The good news, though, is that when we get up to 28,000 people, and we're pretty close to it, about 2,200 people away, we will get another tile. So I'll probably go ahead and grab this one and move the forestry. Now, when it comes to the farming industry, I'm going to try and move it over to this space. Now, we're probably not going to do that today because it's going to be a little bit of infrastructure work. I'm going to have to start bringing some roads down this hill here, down this hill here, because I'm pretty sure a bridge across here is not going to work. Although I guess while we're here, we can probably test it. And yeah, height too high. So we're not going to be doing that. We're not doing a giant bridge. We're going to do some roads that go down into the valley, some little bridges across the river. We're probably going to build down here at some point as well, and then have farming up here with some suburbs or something in this space. But before we get to all of that, we need to deal with a death wave, because we do have one going on, and it's not the worst death wave that we've ever had. But in fairness, we are probably overdue dealing with this kind of thing because, well, one of the cemeteries is full. So let's start looking at getting some crematoriums in here. We have none of them right now, and our death care coverage is pretty terrible. So what I'm thinking we'll do is we'll come down to this space, we'll put a crematorium right there, and that's going to nicely cover this entire new space. We can go into the middle of here, and I could put a couple of crematoriums next to the hospital, but I don't like doing that. I really don't. So I think what I'll do is, we have some empty spaces here. I'm just going to put one there. It doesn't really matter exactly where it goes, just as long as we have some coverage. And then for the upper part of the city, I don't want to put it in the financial district. So maybe one right about there. That's next to an elementary school. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I've made some dark jokes. I'm not putting a crematorium next to an elementary school. That's a oh man. And if you look out the window, class, you'll see Timmy's anyway. Oh my God. Oh, the implications of that joke. Wow. Anyway, oh man, that one might get cut. That one. Wow. Let's compose myself and just put a crematorium, I don't know, right about there. Should be fine. Right about there. It's like not even 5 minutes into this video and it's already gone there. This is going to be an interesting one. That should be good for death care coverage though. It gives us crematoriums all over the place. We still have the 4 cemeteries down here, and they are going to be staying. So even though they're filling up a little bit, those things are not going anywhere, which is going to be for the best. And I'm also thinking I might have to change these streets a little bit, because the buses pulling in like this is proving to be a bit of a problem. So if I change you out for this, that gives the buses somewhere to actually pull into, and that might help traffic sort of move a little bit once the buses actually figure out that they do have to pull in there. I think what we'll do is the same here. I guess we'll just do these guys sort of around the outskirts. Just something like that. And that's hopefully going to let traffic just move a little bit better. At least that's what we're hoping for, and we'll hopefully see them, not back up there anymore. But now that death care is done, I guess all we really need to do is grow the population, right? We need 28,000 people so we can get that extra tile. We're coming up on 27,000 right now, which is fantastic. And I think that's because this space actually has a lot of residential growing to do, or residential building to do. So not really the end of the world. We don't have to go too crazy with this. And so I think what I will focus on, since we're going to have a lot of people in here and we're kind of just waiting in the minute, is some healthcare. Because as it turns out, we do have very good healthcare in the main bulk of the city. But I realize I'm looking at death care right there. Healthcare is very good in the main part of the city, but over here it's lacking a little bit. And I could go with a clinic. I absolutely could go with a clinic. But I think a hospital is what I want over here. So let's just take a stab at it. Let's see what we can do. I'm thinking I want it to kind of be right here, right on this avenue. So let's take out a couple of roads. Let's bulldoze a few buildings. I realize I want the population. These are they commercial? Nope, they're residential. They're residential. Oh, I really need the population to grow. Let's bulldoze some residential buildings. Wow, I am not a smart man. Let's see. So I can put a hospital right there. Do I want to use this one though, or do I want to use the European style one? I do kind of like the look of this one. We also have the high capacity hospital, which I don't know if we need it here, but it is $95,000. So honestly, I think that's maybe the one we're going to go for. I think what I will do though is take this back a little bit, and I'm going to bring some roads through here. Now, I think what we'll do is we'll turn off guidelines. We'll bring this to here, and we'll bring this guy to here. And then I need to figure out how wide this hospital is. So I'm going to put a road right there for a second, and I'm going to place this hospital here. It's not going to, well, it might stay there. And then what I want to do is just bring some roads kind of around it, something a bit like this. And this is just going to give us a little something. I don't know if we need to do that. We probably don't need to do that. It's probably going to be a nightmare for traffic trying to cross over there, but I don't hate it. I'm also not going to connect it at the back. I think we'll get a little path in there and all should be good. But what I can do out front is a parking lot and a parking lot, and that fills up those spaces, which admittedly, it being a hospital, it probably needs a bit more parking than that. So if we look down the sides, we've got plenty of space for these kind of guys, which honestly, I'm sort of here for. So let's do this. Let's do a parking lot here as well. Let's have some parking lots just in those corners as well. And that right there is going to be the footprint for the hospital. I realize it's just a bunch of parking lots. It's very flat space, but honestly, I'm kind of here for it. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing for the hospital. So let's go ahead and look at zoning and just make sure all is good around here and here. This middle part is going to be, I think I said this was going to be a park, right? So I actually might go in. I'm going to let the game run while I do this as well. I might go in and just do this. I might just do a little park district in there. It's going to be nothing major, but I think we can probably get away with it. So just a little something like that. We can do a side entrance there, and we can maybe do a couple of entrances up there, and then I should, in theory, be able to connect this all together, and that's going to give us just a little something. A little something just to fill up that space. Connect these guys together. Oh, I can't do that. Bring you down by 1, and do, really? That's really not going to let me, okay. Well, we're not doing that, I guess. Bring you down by 1, connect those together. And it's a bit janky, but honestly, I don't hate it. So we'll put those together, and I guess we'll just run some paths sort of around it. It's really nothing. It's nothing special, but it fills the space. It's going to be good for the people living next to it. They're going to enjoy having a park here. Just a bit of green space, you know? Just a little bit of green space. We'll put some trees in it. We'll make it lovely and pleasant to live next to, and I mean, you're going to be listening to sirens pretty much all day, every day, because you're next to the largest hospital in the city, but who's paying attention to that kind of thing? And there we go. I think, honestly, this is a decent looking little space. Got a bunch of trees, got some restrooms, got a little cafe, some nice colorful trees in the middle as well. And then around it is just parking lots. It's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant space, but you know what is pleasant? You know what is good news? We are really, really close to having 28,000 people. So any second now, we're going to be able to get this tile and we're going to be able to move the forestry down to here. Now, what I haven't considered, and we're going to be quite honest, is how on earth, there it is. There it is. Oh, that sense of dread just kicked in because I actually don't know how I'm going to connect this space to everything else. I'm almost tempted to say we should do another highway interchange because it will tidy this up a little bit. I mean, this thing is flowing better. I think we forgot to check back on this, but I took all the stop signs off and the roundabout is moving better. It's very dangerous though, so I don't know. We might have to consider our options here. But I think what we'll do is we'll get started by going ahead and just building the industry area. So we'll go to paint industry area. We'll get ourselves a nice big brush. We actually have, we have some oil back there as well. And I realized this gives us access to ore too. We might just have this be a huge industrial space. For now, it's going to be forestry, but I think I might have to weigh up my options here. We might be able to do some really good stuff and make this a super profitable space, which is also going to have a lot of traffic if I do that, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. Let's just go ahead and tidy up that edge. Let's go ahead and tidy up that edge right there. And you know what? I want to tidy up this bit as well. So there we go. That gives us Ivy Industrial Estate. We actually have a lot of potential for forestry over here as well. I don't think I'm going to bother touching it because I really like having this burnt out factory here. So we'll just stick with Ivy Industrial Estate. And I guess, I mean, it's forestry. It probably should have dirt roads and things like that. So let's just use those for the time being. We'll use those for, I don't know, planning or whatever we're really doing here. And we'll just do a straightforward section of dirt road right about there. We'll go into industry, or rather into industry specializations. And we are going to be looking at forest industry for this one, which I think I just have to place the industrial building, right? I don't know why I'm looking at specializations. So the main building goes, I'm going to say the main building goes right about there. So that gives us Ivy wood production, which is totally fine by me. Let's have a look at what we've unlocked right now. So we need a level 5 forestry area to unlock the large tree plantation. We have the medium tree plantations. We have the large tree sapling fields. We also have the sawmill, which is going to give us plain timber. We have the biomass pellet plant, which is going to give us paper. We have the engineered wood plant, which is going to give us plain timber as well. I'm assuming that's faster. So the sawmill is 3,200 units per week with 5 trucks. This guy is double that, 6,400 with 8 trucks. So yeah, this engineered wood plant might not be a bad idea. We also have the log yards. We have dust storage. We have more log yards, more wood chip storage. So we have some options. We also get level 5 and we can get the pulp mill, which is also going to give us paper. So we have a good few things that we can do here. We definitely have some good options. So these workers' barracks, I want a few of those. Although I don't want to take up too much space. I don't want to take too much space away from the actual plantations. So let's do 2 sections of road like this. And let's do a couple of medium tree plantations, just like so. And then I want to go around the back of these guys, because what I want to see is if I can, by any chance, get a small tree plantation just in between all this. So something a little bit like this to start with. Can I do a small tree plantation in the middle there? I can. It's going to have some paths down either side, but I guess that'll work. Also, a lot of these trees are going to get swapped out for other types of trees, but for right now, we'll just do it this way. So I guess let's go ahead and just do a 30 unit section of road right there and 30 right there. We're going to have a lot of trees in here, which is going to require a lot of workers. But I want this to look a certain way. I want it to look really dense. So we'll do a little something like this. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good to start with. What I also want to do is the same thing on the opposite side though. So let me just go ahead and find, do we have a midpoint here? I don't know that we do actually. So what we'll do is, I think we do have a midpoint actually. I think that's our midpoint there. So this should be one tile over the roads on either side. It absolutely is. This is going to be ridiculous. This is going to be way, way more wood than we actually need, but it should keep us pretty busy and it should keep us making a lot of things. So that's kind of what I'm looking for this entire space. That's kind of the idea here. I'm not going to bring roads down here because I don't need them. What I am going to do is bring some roads down to here. Do I want to double these up? I don't think I do. I don't think I do want to double these up. I think what I can maybe get away with, if I bring you over, I can maybe get some small tree plantations in here. So I'd need to move this back by about 4 units. So that would be 2. I think there is what I'm looking for. And then small tree plantation here. I think we can get away with that. I think that's what we'll do. We'll go for a couple of small tree plantations across here. Maybe not the entire way, but we'll see what we go for. I'm also thinking take out all of those sections of road, take you out as well, and just extend this down to a bit of a dead end and a bit of a dead end right there. This is probably too much. This is probably way too much, but I'm gonna commit to it. And if it ends up being way too much, then we'll dial it back a little bit. But just a whole bunch of I keep placing that in the wrong spot. Whole bunch of trees just right there, and that'll keep us good. I'm also wondering, what size are these guys, these small log yards? Are they the same size as the plantations themselves? They actually are. So what if we were to go and say that maybe these guys go away and we do a couple of small log yards right there, and then we can do a couple of the medium tree plantations to fill up this space. And that gives us, you know, a bit of open space in the middle. It starts to take away from the number of trees, but it's going to look dense from the outside, which is what I'm going for. We also have we do have the larger yards as well, but I don't really think I want to play with those. We have sawdust storage, which is a bit of a different size, but they would fit kind of here. So if I take out you and I take out you, we can do sawdust storage here and here. And then we can maybe do some more log storage. I don't think I want to do log storage. I think I'm going to do some small plantations again. So there and there. So if you're going down the river, which admittedly you wouldn't be because, well, you might, well, no, you're probably not going to go down that in a, I was going to say you could go down the rapids or something, but that might be, yeah, that might be a little bit much. That's how you end up in one of the crematoriums we were talking about earlier. Anyway, not going back there. Let's see. Can I do... I can't do that. Would these connect together? Oh my God. Are you kidding me? This game hates me. This game just hates me. That's what's going on. That's what that is. That's because City Skylines just cannot stand me. But this I'm okay with. I think that's a decent little setup in the middle there. And yeah, I actually like that a lot. I'm wondering if I should put the little factories and stuff down by the water. Oh, I also forgot about the maintenance building. This will take care of industrial buildings, increase the utilization rate, reduce wastage. Each maintenance building increases the storage capacity of industrial buildings by 5%. I don't need it. I don't need it, but I could get one. We also still have the workers' barracks, and a bunch of these will increase the work efficiency of each building in here as well. So we might actually want to consider our options here. Now the workers' barracks do look a little bit silly, so let's Let's take out some more of these guys. This thing is, it's pretty chunky. It's a pretty big thing. So let's, oh, hello. We've upgraded. What have I upgraded? That's the zoo. Okay, so the zoo has leveled up. Let's do some barracks just there and there. I don't like that it has the palm trees, but we'll go for a couple of barracks there. And what I think we'll do is bring a road back to here and bring it across. We'll bring a road back to, I want to say here. Nope. We'll bring it back to here and bring it across. And I can go in again with some paths and just sort of connect those together. Not that I necessarily think anyone's going to want to walk around here, but it's an option. And that's about all I got right now. And then I suppose in terms of other things, we can do fences or we can do whatever we want, really. I can decorate some of this space. It does look weird. It definitely looks a bit weird. Let me get rid of you and let me go ahead and put the put this thing back in here so it looks the part. I don't want greenhouses. We'll be getting rid of that for sure. But I do want to figure out these factories. I want to see where they're going. So the sawmill, a sawmill on the water would be interesting. The biomass pellet plant can't be built on water, unfortunately. I could terraform this space. And if I wanted to, I could do some keys along here. Would that be too much? I almost want to say that'd be too much. It might look interesting though. I think we're going to give it a shot. I think we're going to try it out and see if we can do it. So if I go to here and I grab, ooh, wait, since when has this been a thing? Hold on a second. A city key with trees and space for pedestrians to walk. Keys are, yeah, I know what keys are. I can't believe there's so much stuff in this game. There's so much stuff that I just don't know about. It's kind of embarrassing. I also don't think I want to use a city key for this. I think it'd be a little bit silly to use something that nice looking. So we'll probably just use the simple C wall instead of a city key. I'm also kind of hoping shoreline required. Shoreline required. Okay. We're going to have to flatten this, unfortunately. I don't love that I need to do this, but we're going to have to sort of flatten this out, bring the land up a little bit and see if we can't maybe get a key in here and then smooth it out. So that's 10 units. That's 10 units. Shoreline required. Okay. This is actually going to be a nightmare to do this without mods. It really is. Shoreline required. Wait, no, there was, oh, I'm just going to keep clicking. There we go. There we go. I love that that's my strategy. I'm just going to keep clicking. That's all I did there was just keep on keeping on. I kept on clicking and it worked. So let's hit this with a bit of a smoothing brush to make it look a little bit better. It's never going to look good, but it's going to look passable, which is what I'm looking for. And honestly, that kind of does. I don't hate how that's turned out. So let's, I suppose, go ahead and use this as the place. Oh, that fits perfectly. Yeah, this is where our factories are going. So that guy can live there. The engineered wood pellet thing can live here, I guess. It doesn't really matter where it goes. We'll put it there, and that'll be pretty good. So that gives us a couple of factories. It gives us a bit of space between them. I could, if I wanted to, run these roads kind of right down to the end, which I'm not necessarily against doing. So we'll run a road to there, and we'll run a road to there. And that honestly looks okay. And thinking about it, if I wanted to, I could go and get a couple of these guys. Do one right about there. Do one right about there. I like that a lot. I have no idea how traffic's going to get here, but I like this a lot. So I've realized I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have this little extra section down here because this is where we're going to put more factories, because it turns out I have a bunch of factories back here that I happen to forget about. So this is kind of a downgrade, basically, is what I'm getting at. So what we're going to try and do is have this be as little of a disaster as is possible. I'm going to see if I can get a little interesting thing going here. And apparently I can't. That's really unfortunate. What I think I can do, though, is just hit this with a bit of a smoothing brush. In fact, just hit this with a flattening brush a little bit. And I think doing that might let me be able to do what I want to do here, which is this. And Honestly, I don't mind that. Yes, it looks a little bit silly. Also, these guys have no sewage, which is a problem. We'll deal with that in a second. But this, I'm kind of okay with this. I really don't mind this. I am going to have to expand the district a little bit because obviously it doesn't really fit anymore. But we can just, I guess, go and sort of bring it down like that right there. And, oh, I think the game was auto-saving. That's fine. We can then go and just do this, essentially. It's just going to be another factory is all I'm looking for. In fact, if I wanted to, I can kind of do 2 of them. And I don't really mind that. I really don't. It's not pretty, but it's not supposed to be. And I think that's probably fine. I am going to sort of outline these guys, though. In fact, I've just realized I can connect fences to these. So I don't know if I want to outline them or not. It might look a bit weird. Maybe we just sort of go around this one and connect these 2 roads together, because that seems like it would make a bit of sense. So let's just see what that would look like if I did that. I don't mind it. I actually don't mind it. So I think that's what we'll do. We can put more trees in there if we really want to. Also, this is what I did for water in this area. I think it works pretty well. So we have pipes underneath all of the rows with a couple of water towers there and there. And I'm going to have to fill this space with a few things because it's definitely very empty right now. So I guess what we could do is maybe wood chip storage could go in here. We could do it. Wait, does this pull at the ground? This does not. Do you pull at the ground? That's a very important question because I've just got water towers next to it. You do, and you pollute in not enough of a radius that I think it'll actually be a problem, but I just don't want to take that chance. And then what we can do is maybe just put wood chip storage right about there, honestly. Seems like a good spot for it. And then we also had that one other building that I hadn't built, the maintenance building. It annoyingly does not fit. I'd have to change a few things around to make this thing fit. That's a little disappointing. It would fit here if that road wasn't in the way though. So maybe that's what we do. It can live right about there. It does push the terrain around a bit weirdly, but I'm not super concerned about that. And then for the road, we can actually just go ahead and bring this forward a little bit. So we'll go to about there. And then I want to see if I can curve this around in a way that's not going to look terrible. I don't really think I'm going to be able to. Kind of. It's not going to be the best, but it'll do the job. So we'll just go ahead and connect you 2 together. It's a little nasty looking. The fences aren't great looking, but I can hide my crimes. We can totally hide our crimes with a lot of this. So we'll just go ahead and bring this pipe down here. We'll bring a pipe down here, bring it down to about there as well, and bring these guys together. And that gives us water for the entire space. The only thing they don't have is a sewage connection. So for now, we'll just run that over there and that'll give us everything we need. So this thing is now up and working. It just doesn't have a connection to the rest of the city. And that's a bit of a problem. So that's what I need to figure out, is how this is going to connect over to everything else. And I honestly have no idea. I could just demolish all of this, and I think that's what we're going to do. And I think this is honestly what we'll do for the time being. This is just a 4-lane industrial road. It runs past this factory, which I think looks kind of cool. We can do some decorations around this at some point as well. And this gives us a connection to this industrial district, which I think is in a much better space. It's a bit bigger. It has more room to grow as well. And this is also potentially going to give us a connection, and honestly will, now that I think about it, give us a connection across this river. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and build that right away because I think it's going to look really cool. So let me just go ahead and upgrade you, and then let me go ahead and figure out how this is going to work. So we'll turn off road guidelines, and we'll bring these steps down a little bit for the elevation. We'll go 12 units by default, because that's the longest that a ramp can be in Vanilla City Skylines before it does that. So we'll do 12 units. We'll do 2 steps, I guess. Yeah, we'll do 2 steps. And that gives us a little bit of a ramp, and that's okay. And I want to bring this straight over. So I want to go sort of I want to keep this as level as I possibly can. So that's pretty level there. I want to bring this straight over. So to about that spot there. And I want to figure out what this distance is. So this to here is 670. So from here to there is, so it's 9 units. And then if we go 12 and 2 steps down, that gives us the exact same kind of ramp and a little bridge section on either side. And can I just connect these together without it getting weird? Apparently not. That's a little disappointing. That is, man, that's a little bit disappointing. I was really hoping I could get something good here, but apparently the game does not want to, play ball. That's annoying. Okay. Let's instead do a slightly, what kind of road am I using for this? Is this the, that isn't even the 4-lane one. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll go, so it's 9 units. So we'll go up 1 more. We'll go 9 units here as well. And we want to go, I don't know if it's level or not. We'll go up 1 more. If I connect those together, it looks terrible, man. It looks really, really friggin' bad. I don't like that at all. Can I maybe do a little section in the middle here that's not going to look so bad? I don't know that I can. I really, really don't. What about this? Does that give me something weird? It does. Oh, man. Why you gotta do this to me, City Skylines? Why have you gotta do this to me? It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good if I do this. I also love the wooden bridge. I love that it's covered, but this is really upsetting. I was really hoping we get something good here, but apparently that's the best that the game wants to do. But I'm going to try something a little bit cheeky. I'm going to grab this level of the terrain here. I'm just going to pull this straight across just like so. And that now gives us 2 completely level sections of terrain, which means this is now a perfectly level bridge. Never mind. I said that with such conviction. I said that with such confidence. If I let the terrain and the water go mental for a second, that's not level. I thought the preview was level, but no. If I let the water go a little bit nuts for a second, there is a chance, however slim, that I might be able to do this. I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, there's 1 and there's 2. Okay, so get rid of you. And then I very quickly need to go and fix this water problem. So, oh no, hold on a minute. Can I? Yeah, there we go. So now I can push this all back down. And if I grab you, I can push this straight back through there. I can go and grab this bit and this bit and just do a nice kind of gentle slope down there. We'll do the same thing here as well. Just a nice gentle slope down there. And that gives me my nice level bridge. The water is going to be a bit weird for a second, but that is what I'm looking for. And that's going to give us access to whatever resources were over here. It was the forestry. It was the ore. I think there was ore down here. So that's exactly what we're looking for right there. And that's pretty good. So that gives us what we're looking for. Yes, I messed up the island ever so slightly, but it's a good connection to the other side of the river. And I think that's the first bridge that we have crossing over that river, because we don't have one over here just yet. So not bad. You know, I've just realized that this isn't even one of the plantations. This is a sapling greenhouse, but I think we'll keep it. I don't need it, but it just breaks up the symmetry that we have going on. Speaking of which, I've gone ahead and changed out all of the trees for beech trees, since I kind of really like the shade of green that's going on there. And I think this is good. This is, I mean, it's freed up this space, which is what we were looking for. It's taken some of the traffic and spread it out around here, which is also what we were looking for. I might even be able to go ahead and get another one of the tree plantations just in here. I absolutely can. Can I get a medium one? I cannot. We can get a small one though, which I'm absolutely here for. We'll go for the beech trees again. And I wonder if I could get some paths that go around here. I don't need them. Absolutely do not need these paths, but I'm kind of here for it. I'm kind of interested to see what we can do. So we'll turn off some guidelines. We'll bring this guy sort of back to here. We'll bring this guy, we'll turn off grid snapping as well. Bring this guy sort of out to here. And I'm just going to do sort of a windy, twisty, turny path that sort of comes down and around all the trees. We can put some trees kind of around this to make it sort of interesting. And there we go. So people can nicely walk from one road to the other, which is what we're looking for. I mean, again, it's not necessary, but it's what we're looking for anyway. And I suppose I should probably have a quick search here for some beech trees and start to kind of surround this space with the beech trees. This might take a while. And there we go. I filled in a good chunk of the space with a bunch of the alder beech trees. That's the one, not alder trees, beech trees. And I think that really sells the effect that this is sort of a larger plantation. These aren't all just single little fields. I mean, they are, but it's pretty good looking and really, really pleased with that. So let's come away from this for a little bit because we're starting to see some demand pop up for commercial zoning and still industrial zoning. Still a lot of that going on, which is concerning because we have built a decent chunk of office space in here at the very least. We have an IT cluster down here. We have some office buildings in here, another IT cluster over here. So we're seeing some things for sure. And I'm also seeing, speaking of things, cars parking on roads where they shouldn't be parking. So let me very quickly do something about that. So you right there, I want to replace all of these roads because I don't really want cars parking that close to the parking lots. I don't think they need to be. We'll let them park on those streets, and that actually gives us some crosswalks here, which will be kind of important as well. So they can park on those streets where they live, but they're not parking on the road next to a hospital. That's just ridiculous. In fact, they could probably, well, we'll let them park on this street, I guess. They can't park on this one, which is fair enough. And the bus stops are, I would say, probably close enough to the hospital. I don't think I need to bring any bus stops into the middle here. So honestly, I'm okay with this. I think that area has turned out okay. I'm just wondering, oh my God, 6.2 million. I need to spend money. I really need to spend money. What's the next milestone? Does it give me another tile? It does. 38,000 people. Interesting. We need 4,000 more people and we actually get that. So I guess the question is, I mean, we don't have residential demand. It is everything else that we need right now. So maybe we start building in this space on the other side of the highway. I don't know if I'm necessarily there yet. I don't know if I want to take out these rocks either. I think I'm going to. And I think, honestly, let's build on the other side of the highway. Let's try and get the population going up. Let's try and deal with the demand as it comes in. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 20 units. I'm going to go 10 and 10, and that's going to give me a 45-degree angle. This might be a terrible idea, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway, because I want these roads to connect together. So can I do this? No. Can I do this? No. Can I do something a little bit like this? Yes, I can. So the reason I want to do this is because I just want something that's not going to be the same grid. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Should this not be parallel to this? Is that not how that works? I might have messed up my calculations there. Unless is this not a 45 degree? I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm doing anymore, to be quite honest with you. Let's just use road guidelines to try and do this in a way that makes sense, because I want it to be parallel to, well, you know what? No, I don't care if it's parallel. I'm gonna freeform this. I've been talking for a while about getting away from the grids, and then I keep trying to do everything at 45-degree angles. Let's just freeform it and see what happens. I'm gonna flatten the terrain a little bit to give me some nice square edges to play with. But once we do that, I'm just going to wing it. We're just going to see what happens. We're going to basically do this. So we're going to have a road right about there. This one's going to go right about there. And somehow I need to connect this all together in a way that's going to be satisfying and not a complete nightmare for the city. So that's the challenge. In fact, looking at this, yeah, I could just come stay. Okay. All right. It's going to be the same grid. It's going to be the same grid. I talked a big talk. I can't back it up. We're just going to do this. So this guy's going to come out to about there. Is going to go over to about there. and down to about there. And that's fine. It's at a different angle to all of this. It's not all bad. And honestly, what I think I can probably do is we can do our little 45-degree thing again. So if I do this and this, oh man, it's really, really doing some silly things here. I wonder if I do that and then I do this little snaky thing that I'm doing. There is method to this madness, I swear. There is a reason that I'm trying to do this. Right. This, I don't think that's actually going to be a big enough curve. What I wanted to do was that, but I realized I can't do that. So what I can do is this. What I can do is that, and then take out the rest of it. And then this doesn't work because the distances aren't big enough. This will run straight to that guy. What I really wanted to do was have a little curve over to that guy. Because I'm an idiot, I did the calculations wrong. So here's what we're going to do instead. Because I'm an idiot. This is what I wanted to do. I just wanted the little curve and the little curve because it's something a little bit different. And it's not just a perfect square, and it throws things off, right? That's what I was looking for. Was that so hard to build? No, I'm just an idiot. That's why that was a painful process. So now what I want to do is start filling this up a little bit with some zonable space. So we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna have to take some zoning off of this road at some point. But I want to see if I can get a little bit of a grid across here. I don't think it's actually going to let me, which is unfortunate. I don't love that. I don't love that I can't do my grid. I was kind of hoping to do a grid, but I guess we're not doing that. What I will do is come off of here about 20 and go in. We'll go off of here about 20 and go in. This is either going to end up being like a park or a unique building or something like that, but I just want kind of a square in there that I can play around with. And if I was to come straight down here, that actually lines up pretty nicely. I don't mind that. I can work with that. We also have this space in here, which admittedly, I'm kind of just looking for some zoning in here. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of looking for some zoning. What I'm going to do, I think, is something like this and something like this. These roads will probably be swapped out for ones that people can park on, but at least this way, by doing all of this, we have a little bit of space for some sidewalks, and I think that'll be lovely. We'll also, like I said, go ahead and swap these out for roads that people can actually park on, because people are going to be living in here most likely. We could arguably do the same with this one as well. These guys are going to stay as roads you can't park on. They've got the bigger sidewalks. And then this space is going to be a little something. I'm not really too sure what. I think what we'll do is kind of a similar idea, and maybe just sort of replicate what we're doing just on this side. I don't know if that's actually going to work out too nicely though. That's probably about as far as we can go. I want these paths coming around here. I think that's kind of important. I don't think I want to connect this. I think this could maybe be some park space or something interesting, unless I could do this. We could loop it around like that. And actually, that's probably okay if I take zoning off of this road, which I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want the backs of the buildings visible. Maybe zoning off of these roads would be better. So let's see, bring you right up to, I'm going to say there. And if I was to go and say, give me zoning on only one side of this road, would that work better? So if I did zoning there and there, I guess it kind of would. This guy could probably have zoning a little bit further though. So if I did up to there with zoning and then, wait, no, up to there with full zoning is what I'm looking for. And then only zoning on one side of that road for this little bit. Ah, it doesn't really like that. Okay. Oh man, if I upgrade you, is it going to screw things up? I don't like that. I needed zoning on the other side of that road, so you need to go away, and you, yeah, you get screwed up a little bit. That's really unfortunate. I guess we can do this. I guess that's okay. I don't dislike that. we can make this work. It's a decent enough grid. Yes, there's going to be some weird gaps. Yes, there's probably going to be some weird buildings, but honestly, I can make it work. Let's go ahead and put some paths in here so that this looks the way I want it to look. We'll just use the normal ones because they connect really nicely to just about everything. And so with the paths in here, all we need to do is start zoning this space, which is going to be relatively straightforward. So what I'm thinking we'll do, since we have some commercial zoning, is we'll get started, I think, by actually getting rid of some zoning on this little curve here, because I think that's going to do us some favors. It tidies up that corner, which is what we're looking for. And this entire space is going to be commercial to get things started. I'm also kind of thinking that this entire stretch can be commercial as well. And that's about all the commercial zoning I think we're going to need. I'm also going to turn zoning off on these curves here. And I think what we can do is just get some office zoning here. Maybe not on the outside just yet, because there's going to be no district styling there. We'll do some offices here. And I don't love the idea. I mean, so this would be really expensive real estate. I'm kind of tempted to put, well, we could put hotels here, but we're not really doing too much with, we're not doing too much with that just yet. I think we have hotels. Did I put hotels anywhere? I don't know if I've done that yet. I think I considered it at one point. I honestly don't remember if I bothered to put any hotels in here. I know we don't have much in the way of tourism. But I think what I want to do is, I think I want this to be residential. I want this to be residential. Going to leave this empty because it's going to be something. We're not too sure what just yet. Residential here as well. And I did say that pretty much all of this was going to be space for people to live. So I guess that's what we'll do. That's all going to be space for people to live. Maybe some more offices here, and maybe that can be a little cluster of offices in the middle as well. I think what I would like to do is I'd kind of like to just sort of, I like some paths going around this space. I do kind of like people being able to kind of move around and do their thing. So that'll let them get around in there. We could, if we wanted to, kind of push a little path through the middle just to break this up, but I'm not really too worried about that. We could do this, or, well, apparently not. Apparently we can't do that. Can I do this? I mean, there's not really much point in doing it. Regardless, I'm getting carried away. There's no point in doing any of that. We'll just sort of do this. That'll be our spread for the time being. It's not as much residential as I was hoping for, and I think it's actually probably less, probably about the same amount of commercial as industrial. So this spread's probably not too good, but it'll do for now. Pipes are already underneath everything. All I need to do is make this a district and then give it a bit of a style, a theme, or whatever we're looking for. And then even though there is absolutely no way for anyone to, use this to get to somewhere else, we're going to tidy it all up on the roads because, of course, a neat district is a happy district. Now, in terms of the buildings in here, in terms of the specialization, I don't really know. I'm tempted to say wall to wall for everything, just so it all ties together, but that would be very, very colorful. We could do something with European style buildings if we wanted to. We could do, honestly, any of these. European's probably the only one that's going to consistently look different. I don't know if I want to do European just yet. I don't think I do. I don't think I'm really interested in European style buildings. So I guess what we'll do, let's toy with wall to wall buildings for everything for now. We might come back to this, we might change it up, but we'll give it a shot for the time being, and that'll give us a district that's going to be pretty consistent in terms of its height. We're also going to need some services in there. Medical is actually covered by this large hospital. Fire coverage sucks. That's something I've just realized. Do we want to get a high capacity fire station? Because we could get one in here. We could turn this into a space for emergency services, but I don't know if I love that idea. We could just sort of stick it across the road to the hospital, actually. So let's just do that. And that gives us fire coverage for pretty much that entire space. I'm going to change the truck out for the large one, though, because I think it looks pretty cool. And then for policing, we have a high-capacity police headquarters. Policing coverage is pretty terrible. Does it look okay over here? Not really. Let's just go ahead and put this thing, honestly, right here. I think we'll just put it there, and that'll be a decent little spot for the police headquarters, and that'll keep, good coverage in that space. And the vehicles from this can be, honestly, we'll just do random. We'll do whatever they want to go with, the, mobile command center, the supercar, it doesn't really matter. We'll let this space build. That'll start, taking away all of the demand for all the different things, and that'll keep us pretty good. Hopefully, that's going to be enough to push us up to 38,000 people, but we will see. And I guess my biggest concern, to be honest, is what's it going to do for traffic? Because it's probably going to be pretty bad. It's going to be rough down here. In fact, do I want to play around with some slightly larger roads? Because we do have the asymmetrical 7-lane roads, and I'm thinking they wouldn't be a bad idea. It means we're going to have to get rid of the median on these guys, which is a bit of a problem, but I think it might not be the worst idea. It really might not be the worst idea at all. Apparently these don't connect together all that well. That's kind of frustrating. I was really hoping they would connect together nicely, but apparently not. If I just do that, I guess that gives us 4 lanes going left. We'll see what happens there. So that gives us a dedicated right-hand turn lane, which is probably actually a good thing. We want zoning enabled for this road. Does this have a midpoint? Not really. I don't know if that's the middle or not. I'm going to bulldoze this entire road for a second because I want this to stretch that entire thing, and I want the midpoint. The midpoint should be there. So we'll do that. We're going to have 4 lanes there. We're going to have 4 lanes there. Bulldoze you. That's our midpoint. And then we just replace all of this. So there we go. And we'll see how that goes for traffic. I guess this road as well, technically, should probably be swapped out for one with a little bit of asymmetry, but that has, by the looks of it, actually given us some dedicated turning lanes for both sides, and that's going to be really, really good for us. So we'll see how traffic goes. I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but we'll see if it ends up being a disaster. And while we're here, change that out for a stop sign, change that out for a stop sign, and ooh, level 5, not bad. That is exactly what we were looking for. This guy's an avenue, so that's fine. You are going to be a stop sign as well. And then these guys are going to be similar. So just a bunch of stop signs around these districts to try and keep traffic moving as quickly as possible without it, just being absolute chaos. And that looks all right. That actually does. This place is going to need a policy. We're going to want to make sure that Old Town is on here sooner than later. I'm also going to try and encourage biking because I think that might be a pretty good idea. And we'll encourage electric cars as well. You're either going to take your bike or you're going to take your Tesla. Either one. Doesn't really matter. So I guess while we're waiting for this place to build, we can start looking at what we can do in here for some kind of unique building. Because I want something. I want it to be kind of interesting. I don't want it to be the stock exchange. We could start playing around with the treasure hunt stuff. We do, of course, have the City Skylines 2 logo right here, which is the creator's library. It's a pretty good looking building. It would definitely be unique for the space. We have the countdown clock as well, which is enormous. Do I want this in here? Do I want the countdown clock in here? I don't think I do. We got this guy as well, which is the Plaza of Transference. This modern plaza ensures smooth transitions into the future. I see what we're playing at here. I see what that's all about. It also is off-center, so we're not going to be playing with that one. And then the Plaza of the Future. After the sunset, there's a hint of a new dawn. So I need to build the countdown clock if I want to build this one. Interesting. I don't know if you know what? Maybe we do want the countdown clock. Why not? Why not have a bit of fun here? Let's lean into the City Skylines 2 stuff. Let's play around with some roads very quickly. And let's go for just this one with the grass. We'll do just fine. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have to take out a lot of these roads for a second because the countdown clock is kind of huge, and then it can just sit right there, which gives us this thing, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know what it's about, but there it is. And that actually might give you an idea of when exactly I'm recording this video, which is weird. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. All right, let me turn off all grids on these roads for a second, and let me just run this sort of around the side. So I need angles, I need road lengths, I need it to go here, I need grid snapping, so this guy can go here, and then we'll just let's see, bring this guy down. I guess that's how we're going to do it. So these guys are going to come down here and in that way. You are going to come over to here and a little bit further than just that. You're going to go there and nope, even further. You are going to go to there and up to there. That road needs to go as well. I'll get it one of these days. So just like so, and that does mess with zoning on the avenue, but I'm not super worried about that. We'll turn zoning back on. I'm going to have to go in and redo all of these sections of road to get the zoning right, but it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. Let's just update you, and you. So these guys all have zoning, which they absolutely should. And then I guess what we'll do is go and turn off zoning again. And yeah, I don't know if I want people parking on these roads. I don't think I do. So we'll keep zoning off. We'll just update these guys and say that, yeah, no parking on those roads. And we're probably not going to do any building at the back of this, but I'm not really super worried about it. Let's just get this all filled in. And I've just realized, I know it's a countdown clock and I know it's counting down to City Skylines 2, but it's just hit me that this is moving while the game is paused. Because of course it is. It's a countdown clock. I don't know why man, that's weird. That's weird to me. The entire, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, I love it. It looks really cool and I'm really excited, but it's weird. So even with changing some of the zoning in this district for commercial and offices, we're still not really seeing much in the way of residential building in here. So we really have some ridiculous demand for offices, industry, commercial, whatever it might be. So we might need to just concede and change out this entire district to be a combination of offices and commercial, which I really wasn't wanting to do, but I think we might just have to do it to get rid of this demand. So we'll go ahead and just swap out pretty much everything else here that was residential for all of this, and we'll see what it looks like. I'm not really too sure if I love that I'm doing this, but it's what we're doing, and it's hopefully going to help things along. Now, what I did do is go ahead and put some bus stops around here, and we're using some of the older looking. These are 50-person articulated buses, because I'm not suspecting that this is going to be too much of a busy district, but I might be wrong on that. And I've also got a little bit of overlap down here. So these buses come down and stop alongside these orange ones, so people can get on this bus, transfer to this one, etc., etc. Although we might want to start considering some kind of central transport hub for the city, because at the moment it's not great. It's not a great setup that we've got going on. Right now you can get on a bus and get anywhere up and down the city, but left to right is a bit of a problem. So maybe as a temporary thing, maybe we do a couple of, I don't know, a couple of lines that go a couple of different ways. I'm not really too sure what way to do it. I'm really not. I'm actually, what would be the best way to do this? What if I don't want to make this bit any busier than it is, because traffic in here is already a nightmare. So doing anything here might be a really bad idea without a transport hub. I might just hold off until we actually have a transport hub, but I want to try one thing. I'm going to try this. So we're going to have a stop there. We're going to have a stop. Ooh, do I want it right next to it? We're going to just stop here in front of the elementary school. That seems like a good place for one. That can also service the good old Modern Technology Institute. We'll do one here, because that's going to give you access to like the zoo and everything down this way. And I kind of want it to stop in there. I also kind of don't. I'm really not too sure on that. This doesn't really give us access to the lower part of the city, but whatever. I'm going to have it stop down here. I'm going to have it. Well, no, I don't know if I don't know if I am. No, we're not. We're going to have it stop up there. We're going to have it stop down there, and then we'll have it stop here on the way back. And it's kind of just going to go along the same path that it went along to get there. It's really not a big line at all, but it does get you from left to right, and it does get you access to a couple of different lines. I don't know if that's going to be useful at all. Hold on, let's bring that back a little bit. Let's instead sort of bring it down here, and we'll just have it sort of hop to a couple of different stops here and there. And that might be the way to go for this one. So it kind of goes from up here, it goes around that district, comes down around all of these districts. I'm even tempted to say that instead of doing that, it's going to come into the middle here, which is going to be terrible for traffic because that's a very, very shallow bus stop. So instead, I'm going to put it right about there. Bit of a deeper bus stop. That should be good for us. We can bring it sort of through the zoo, I guess. If we wanted to, we could have it sort of go to there, so it also stops at the zoo. Those might be too close together, though, but we'll give it a shot. In fact, no, we'll have it go here. So it comes around. It does still share that line. People can walk to the zoo from there. It's not that long of a distance. We'll have it share this stop, and we'll have it share this one. And I'm going to color that just bright red as well. So that's going to be a bright red line, bus line 17. I want the 65-person double-decker bus on that. And I want to see if that ends up being a popular line. I'm not too... Wait, are those... Those are people already waiting to get on this bus. That is wild that they are already waiting there to get on that bus. That is a lot of people. There's no stop there, which is fine. There is a stop here. No one seems interested, which is okay by me. This one down here is packed with people. Good Lord. That is, okay, that's a very, very busy bus line. That is a very, very busy bus line, but that's what we wanted. That's going to get people from the left side of the city to the right side of the city. You've got this one here for up and down. And what's likely going to happen is we're going to have people going around these corners to do their thing, but that's totally fine. All I want to change is I want to go ahead and do, let's make sure you have zoning. I want to do this. So that bus stop is a little bit, you know, just a little bit back from the road. Got some trees opposite, which I think looks pretty good. And we'll see how that goes. I am suspecting that it will be disastrous, but we'll see how it goes. I'm also suspecting that this episode is probably going on way too long because I'm just looking at my timeline and seeing how long I've been going for this one. And I know there's a lot of stuff to be cut out of it, but probably not enough. This is going to be an hour plus. This might be the longest episode of the series so far. Not every episode is going to be like this. I said that at the start. Not every episode is going to be super, super long, and I do need to try and stick to that. So we'll see what ends up happening and we'll see if I can actually do that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So I think on that note, we can go ahead and leave it there. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. We've still barely put a dent in the zoning, but this is a new district. This space down here has been tweaked a little bit. I think this looks pretty good. We're going to have to get storage for the products. I know I need warehouses. I know that's a thing we're going to have to look into, as well as the factories and all that good stuff. That's all going to come in good time. But for now, thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.